What's going on, y'all? I got another game to talk about today, and today we're finally going to review a game that's a little bit bigger than a lot of the indie games I've been reviewing lately. So today we're going to talk about a game that's right on the cusp of being a really high-quality AA, not quite AAA game. We're going to talk about A Plague Tale Requiem. So this is the sequel to the sleeper hit game, if I want to say 2018-2019, which was A Plague Tale Innocence. And A Plague Tale Innocence is really one of the first games that kind of sold Game Pass to me. When I originally bought Game Pass, there was only to play the Outer World, and I did it, and then I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? Well, one of the first games I played after that was A Plague Tale Innocence, and it convinced me, okay, this is a great way to check out games that I probably wouldn't have checked out otherwise, or I would have waited way too long to check them out. Here, I got to check out A Plague Tale, and I love it. So the premise of these games is you have a brother and sister, Hugo, the little brother, and Amicia, the very protective older sister. And let me tell you, Amicia is like the greatest sister ever. Alright, so here we've got an image that I took with a screenshot from my Xbox playing the game, and here we see Amicia on the right and Hugo on the left. And like I said, Amicia is the greatest, most protective older sister ever. And what we have here is we're in the middle of the Great Plague, but there's this bigger issue of these rats are fucking everywhere, and these are the worst kind of rats. Now, if you've got a rat fear, rat phobia, or anything like that, you are not going to want to play this game because it will trigger the absolute shit out of you, let me tell you. But Hugo has this sickness, and they call it the macula. And no one really understands it, but there's this whole order that might be able to save him. But, you know, you see Hugo's blood starts to turn black in his veins, and really the only person he feels safe with is Amicia. But it turns out this sickness also gives him this really weird connection to the rats, and that's one of the things that we're exploring as we go throughout this game. Now, one thing I do absolutely have to say about this game is while it is beautiful, it is also horrifying. This game is not meant as a horror game, but when you see some of the scenes like you have above, it is absolutely horrific. But you gotta remember where we're at in this world at this point. The plague is taken over, but of course it's a game where we have giant killer like rat tornadoes that just pick apart the bones of every living thing that they can find. Now, the gameplay of this game is really fun. If you played the first one at all, you know what to expect. You're going to do a lot of sneaking around because Amicia, while she is capable at this point, she's not any match for like a knight or anything like that. She is still a young teenage girl going up against grown men. So you do a lot of sneaking around, and the way you play with that and protect yourself is kind of like environmental puzzles in a way, which is how can I find the path where I'm going to be safe but also use the rats to my advantage, which most of the time means taking out people's lights and watching them get eaten and torn apart by rats, which is pretty wonderful if you ask me. Now, one of my complaints about this game, though, is you see above, we have a lot of sequences you would see in a lot of old games. Like above, you get those sequences like you had in Crash Bandicoot, where you're running towards the camera and you're having to dodge stuff to get out of the way. I'm not all that big a fan of that. Honestly, I just included this screenshot because it's metal as shit. At the end of the day, you gotta check this game out. It's beautiful, it's on Game Pass, there's no excuse not to.